started when Rotterdam had an unexpected flood, something that changed the lives of many. Students were one of the groups that felt the substantial changes that came with this flooding. With the availability of housing already being microscopic, it became even more challenging to find accommodation in their beloved city. This had some massive consequences on the students. Looking back and examining the welfare of students during some trying times has made specialists notice a substantial change in their well-being. Take for instance the COVID-19 pandemic that hit Rotterdam in 2020. This pandemic had a significant impact on the mental well-being of these students. At least 82% was left struggling and on the brink of a burnout. So, when you look at students years later during another natural disaster, it is only logical for these students to struggle during these times. This calls for a change. These students need something that aids them. Firstly, they need sufficient enough housing accommodations, and secondly, they need a space to be able to thrive and grow as a person. Education is our passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to the people who prepare for it today. By Malcolm X.
Thus, this calls for a solution. The municipality and the government work together with a group of specialists to come up with a plan to create a new way of housing. This new way of housing consists in the forms of islands that float on the water. Each island has a magnetic field that can connect all of them together, and that is what happens during the day. At night, the islands will divide again. However, this doesn't mean that you can't go anywhere. Autonomous water vehicles are available 24/7. The students on the islands might live a bit more secluded, but this doesn't mean that they are incredibly isolated from the mainland. Friends and family are still very much welcome to visit, just like students who can still easily reach the mainland. People from the mainland are also allowed to visit the islands to make use of the facilities, the shops and the library, for example. These islands will also help with the shortage of jobs on the mainland, as they need people to help along the islands to create the best environment so that students can thrive. And, of course, there will be people living on the islands to assist students with questions or problems.
Here are some visuals of what it would look like. Sustainability is key and plays an important part in the function of the islands and its inhabitants. Instead of resisting the water, we embraced it and attached a self-sufficient cleaning system to the island. The clean water gets used for tap water, water to flush the toilet, shower water, and to water the crops. In 2050, solar will be our main energy source. Solar efficiency will go up and will generate enough energy to provide for the residents of the island. The top of the buildings will be covered by solar panels that turn with the sun to take the most out of it. The sides of the islands/buildings operates as a dike to make sure the platform stays dry and protected from the sea. When the islands unite together during the day, they also protect the main island. This island will also serve as an additional barrier between the sea and the mainland of Rotterdam. On the main island, residents can connect and socialize with other people. On the main island, there will be a small shopping center, studios and workplaces for the students, a digital library, a park, and places to get food, but of course also to grow food. In this visual, you see one of the residential islands. There are individual living spaces next to each other. The water system can be in the bottom of the island and invisible to the residents. In the visual, you see how the island will unite and can become one. Because the island can connect and disconnect to the main island, this project is expandable and there are more options to expand and grow the island in the future.
You might wonder, why do you see a watch with a hologram all the time? This is because the students are given a smart piece of jewelry of their own to help them live comfortably on the islands. A beautiful ring, stylish watch, or an elegant necklace. This gives the students an easy and effective way to open their room doors, easily pay for their goods, and use them for the autonomous water supply. The smart jewelry is also provided with a map of the island. In this way, you can easily find your way and you can look up specific places. So it works like Google Maps and also like a compass. The watch also automatically connects to the lighting system and illuminates the places you are close to at night. What you see is a hologram that provides you all the information. Easy, futuristic, and handy in your life.
We decided to create a survey to look at what our fellow students thought about our scenario. In total, there were 17 people who participated in our survey, so let's look at what they thought about our scenario. 15 people thought it was a good solution. 14 out of the 17 people would move to a floating island after a flood. 17 would try to live a more sustainable way. Only 12 would wear smart jewelry that has their private information. The answers are quite divided in this one. Some think the thought of not being able to control a vehicle is scary to them, or if it's tested right, they would try and ride in it, and some would not risk it. A lot of people, however, are not divided in this question. A lot of people want a healthy environment, they want cultural diversity, they want a room for exercise, and just a place to get together, like a park or a terrace. Thankfully, a lot of people gave us quite positive thoughts on this scenario. It can be a good solution or extra for reclaiming the lands in the country. It sounds like a good time. It's great. But there are also some negative comments. We don't really need more of this. Seems kind of scary, but it is the new future. And a lot of people are quite scared about the idea of having a type of watch or jewelry that has your private information, which we understand.
But why it is so important to establish a sufficient housing system for the students of Rotterdam during the flood? The answer is simple. Education is a key to a better future. Although the world is at the edge of collapse, with the help of new technology and more sustainable lifestyle approach, it is possible to create a better and more progressive society than ever, and the students will be the ones who keeps it thriving. The floating student housing islands will not only help to solve the housing shortage problem in the city, but also ensure that the students have a safe and comfortable place to live and build a supportive community. The new sustainable lifestyle approach will help out the planet Earth and provide new job places for the students and citizens. Therefore, by implementing a new technology such as smart jewelry and water transportation, the students' daily life tasks will become easier than ever, so that they can worry less about small inconveniences and focus more on important matters. We also did a short survey for our fellow students to ask what they think about our idea. Furthermore, we asked what would be an essential thing you would need on this island. And as you can see, some participants stated that it would be food, cultural activities, amusements and places to socialize, room for exercise, and proper transportation and healthy environment. And last but not least, we asked what are people's thoughts on this scenario. Although some people found it scary, overdone, or not realistic, the majority of the participants thought that it's a great idea to reclaim lands in the country, expand new technology use, and help students.